Most people buy cable attachments based on the specific exercise that they need it for, but they don't think through how it's going to feel and how it's going to execute. I'm going to show you 5 of the most underrated cable attachments that have earned a permanent spot here in my gym because they solve very specific problems. Have you ever suffered from wrist pain, forearm pain, or just discomfort while you're doing your cable exercises? This probably has a lot to do with what cable attachments you're choosing to use. Now, these 5 cable attachments I'm about to show you, I have been using them consistently in my training. I'll show you how most people use them and how I actually use them, and it'll make a big difference in your training. Now, a couple of these attachments are from Body Solid, and a couple of these attachments are from Darko, but it's not really about brand hype, it's really just about what feels good. Now, you're going to want to stick around till the end because I did save the best for last. It's going to be really budget friendly and the most versatile for your training. The first cable attachment I'd like to show you guys is the Body Solid Fat Grip Low Row Handle. Obviously it's named the Low Row Handle, but I think this works amazingly well for lat pull downs. Reason being is because of the fat grips, you have to wrap your hands around like this, which means you have to grip a little harder. And because you're gripping a little bit harder and not wrapping your thumb around this way, it forces you to pull with your lats versus yanking with your arms. And a lot of people struggle with filling their lats in a lat pull down, believe it or not. And this basically makes it foolproof for you to get engagement with your lats because of the way you have to hold this fat grip. Super quick little overview of a closer look at this handle. So this handle has very passive knurling. It's not aggressive in the slightest, which is great for me and my clients because my clients don't even like knurling. Body Solid is really good at making gym equipment for the overall gym goer, not necessarily the snobby home gym people like myself. Anyways, the knurling is great. You don't want it to be super aggressive because that would kind of defeat the purpose of the fat handle. We want to work on our grip and our forearm strength, and so we want to have just enough texture to that it's not slippery, but not too much texture that we don't have to grip much at all. The welds are great. There's a tiny bit of scratching, but I've been using this thing for weeks, so that tells me the powder coat is actually pretty awesome. So that is a closer look at the fat grip handle. Next, we have the Darko Danglers. What a creative name, am I right? These things look like little avocados to me, but to each their own. They are actually textured like an avocado. These are just 3D printed onto this D-ring. Is that what it's called? Circle ring, D-ring? I don't know, I'm just a girl. But anyways, these are really cool. I love using them for any type of tricep work and especially for rear flies. Because they're smaller at the top and fatter at the bottom, they just fit so perfectly in my hand, and yeah, they're just really comfortable to hold on to. This is getting worse as I go. Anyways, these are awesome because the anchor point is really close to your wrist, so it doesn't have any torque to it at all. So when you're doing tricep pushdowns, it's very comfortable. So if you've found your wrist being uncomfortable through different tricep work, you should definitely give these a go. And they're super affordable and budget friendly, and so definitely pick you up a pair of danglers. This cable attachment surprised me the most because I judged it right out of the box. This is Body Solid's Fat Grip Curl Bar, and I judged it because it doesn't have knurling and because the center part doesn't spin, so I thought I wasn't gonna like it. But the more I use it, the more I love it, just because there are some very comfortable movements that you can perform with this. My favorite movement to perform with this is this wide grip tricep press down, and it just feels so comfortable on the elbows and the wrists. And then depending on how you want to do your curls, you can flip it. There's an anchor point here on the top and there's an anchor part here on the bottom, but it also feels comfortable for curls. Although this center part doesn't rotate, because it doesn't have any knurling, it's not super uncomfortable to curl with this bar. So this bar has grown on me the most. I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I really do like it. I will say I definitely use it more for triceps than I do bicep curls, but this is probably the attachment that I've been gravitating the most for triceps. While we're on the topic of triceps, let's not forget about Body Solid's Fat Grip V-Bar. Now this thing is underrated in the sense for the price point. Now we've seen a lot of cool V-Bars come out recently. Rogue has one and 4.6 has a really sweet one. Now 4.6 is really comfortable on the wrist because it has the option to rotate through the movement. This one obviously doesn't, but because of the fat grip, it is comfortable on the wrist and it's comfortable on the elbows. Now, this could use some more knurling. That would be my only gripe about it, but it kind of makes up for it because it does have these balls at the end and that keeps your hands from sliding off completely. It's way better than having that flat plate there. We've all had those cheap V-bar grips where the plate digs into your wrist. And so this is super comfortable to use. I do wish it just had more knurling, but this is underrated, like I said, in a sense of if you're on a budget, this is a good option. Last but certainly not least is the Darko D-Nade handles. I did save the best for last. Now, I didn't realize how versatile these were going to be until I started training with them. You can see all these different holes. This is for different anchor points. Now, depending on where you put your cable, it's going to put a different torque on the handle. So when I do low rows, I like to put the carabiner right here, and that's going to put a torque on my ring finger and my pinky finger, so that way I get more engagement in my lats. These things are very, very underrated. A lot of people don't talk enough about that. You can really choose where the pressure is on your hand depending on where you put your carabiner. And you can even use them for just like a handle, because you can anchor here and use it as like a tricep push down handle. So these things are, like I said, very versatile. The craftsmanship is awesome. These handles are 3D printed, so you can choose what color you want. And yeah, these are overall very well done, and I've really enjoyed using them in my training. But wait, I have bonus items. So I figured since I have featured so many body solid items, I just finished strong with these can be cable attachments or just grip strength attachments. They sent these to me free for review recently. I actually broke these 3 knuckles, and so my left hand is struggling as far as grip strength goes. So Body Solid came in clutch and sent me these. So the nunchucks have just a very passive knurling to them, and the cannonballs are just powder coated, so they are smooth. These are a better, I don't know, beginner friendly for like pull-ups and farmer's carries, where these are going to be a little bit more challenging. So I've been mostly doing pull-ups from these to improve my grip strength, but you can also use them for cable attachments. So I just figured I'd include them and show you guys that Body Solid does offer these, and they're really good quality, and I've been loving using them in my training.